Hey, welcome to Marketing 101 podcast. My name is Lewis May. In the next episode, you're going to witness Riley Seaburg and myself, where we're having a conversation back in early 2019. We talk about a ton of stuff, but really this is just this is us getting to know each other and diving into, theory and practice of Facebook marketing, Facebook advertising, and just business practice in general. So we've named this 5 things to get your business online. That was the topic of the conversation, among others. And this is season 1, episode 3, part 1. So we took this whole conversation and divided it into 2 separate podcasts. So, it's probably more entertainment than anything at this point, but listening to this, you're going to get to know what kind of people we are, and you're going to get to hear a little bit about, some tactics as far as driving traffic and capturing audiences and, getting conversions when it comes to digital marketing. So I hope you enjoy.
I want to show you, we just started a built-in intro and outro for our videos. I'm going to hold it up to the mic here and see if this works, or the camera.
Share your screen.
Oh, it's on here.
Oh, cool, dude. Yo, that's sick. Is that with a drone?
No, that's an outro.
That's awesome, man. Yo, I need one of those for me,
Yeah.
for my YouTube channel. That'd be
Well,
great
see-
to put in a video.
Oh, it has sound too.
You should literally make that as your intro and outro for every YouTube video.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
It's kind of ridiculous.
No, man, people will love that shit.
All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah, people will love it, man. Like, people love stuff like that.
I love it. The music is kind of corny because it sounds like Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But
no, I think it's cool. I think
whatever.
it's really cool.
That's 12, dude. He can do that stuff just like that.
Hold on, I'm gonna share this live with our list here. Do you subscribe to me?
Yeah. Oh,
Not-
on your marketing? No, I don't think I do. Let me go find it.
Broadcasting.
So that's a great lesson for the first lesson of the day. How would I go and subscribe to your messenger marketing?
So you go to facebook.com, was it / Riley David, the number 4 real, and then the word real. So facebook.com.
Just go to your, find your page, Riley David.
Yeah, find my page and then click send message, and then you'll be opted into my messenger list.
Literally, that's all somebody has to do to get on someone's messenger list is message that list owner.
Yep, that's it. That is it.
Dude, seems like a really good strategy.
Yeah, dude, it's so easy. And then like I can just run ads to get someone to do that too if I want. Okay, let's share this link. Hey. I want to broadcast this to the list before we start talking about this.
I like it. I'm looking at your Impressium.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good, right? But
Yeah,
actually,
and,
I have people asking me about like they message
Sorry.
they messaged me and asked me about it. Like
Nice.
how far along are you?
It's that. Congratulations on your Marketer of the Year award.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Something I want to talk about, and forgive me if I'm intruding. I'm going to not use the word you should. But remember, we were talking the other day about how, and you asked me, and I think we're in the same line that we're both, we embrace servitude, but you know, we were in that conversation of talking about like why we're doing this and da 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 da. And you were like, you know, I just want to help people. I want to be of service. I'm not even sure about the money side. And that's, I wanted you to respectfully want you to reconsider that statement. Just because money is important, and if not for anything else, it's a judgment of whether or not we're really helping people.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
funny. I was watching a TED talk about that last night. Some chick was talking about how she got rich, like I guess marketing online, and then she started teaching people how to do it, and they couldn't pay her, and she like didn't really care, and she would like take on more and more people, and then eventually she stopped doing what was making her money, and like literally lost all her money because the IRS sent her some tax stuff, and she had to pay that, and she spent all of her money. Yeah,
Helping
man,
other people.
I get that. You know, I understand. So like for me, it's not a focus because I understand it's a part of the process, right?
Yep.
It's just yeah, it's like eating breakfast every day. Like
Well,
which
all I
I don't
want you
do.
to do is think of them as the same thing.
Right.
You know, because like with this, you know, with the stuff I'm reading about Joe Dispenza, if you're getting into the quantum field, you want to still have intent. Like you want to have the end result kind of envisioned. You just want to have a real open-mindedness about that end result. And you also want to have a really open-minded, like not even knowing how you're going to get to that result. Which is what we have, what we're kind of doing with this whole thing all the time, you know?
Right. Yeah, of course.
But it is important. I think we'll be more successful if we keep money in the game. You know, like I want money. I don't need money. You know, we all need it. You know, I don't need to be wealthy per se, but I want to be. But I also know that it's because like when I am, it's because I've done so much good at that point.
So I guess I take the Ed Milet approach, and I already see myself as wealthy. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. That's even better then.
Yeah. So that's why I say for me, money's not an issue because like I'm already at a really good place in life.
Yeah.
And everything for me is just a bonus, you know? So like
Okay.
just real quick, back in 2015, you know, I had a Yamaha R1, like,
Yep.
and I was out. I lived out in the sticks, like the real country. And one day, like around 6 p.m., 6:30 or whatever, I decided to go take a ride. And where I live, that's like deer time. That's when all the deer just come out because it's
I know.
starting to cool off and all that shit.
Yep.
And you know, I ended up hitting a deer, like fucking head on, hit a big ass deer, and I broke my femur. Like I flew over my handlebars and snapped my leg on like my leg hit, like, you know, snapped the
A
handlebar.
pole or something.
Yeah. So like snapped my leg in half. I ended up getting airlifted to the hospital. I got surgery the next day to fix it. It didn't work, right? So I had to get surgery again like a year later, and that didn't work. And then I had to get surgery again, and that didn't work. And then like 6 months later, I got surgery again, and that one finally took. So it
4
took
times.
like 3 years. Wait, like 3 years to heal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that was just one of the times in my life where like I was pretty much dead. Like I passed out. Like my helmet, dude, my helmet was like shaved in half. Like like I skidded across the road. You know what I mean?
Unconsciously afterwards.
Right. So, you know, I really look at life as like this stuff I'm doing now. It's just a bonus, man. Like, yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
I have wants and stuff like that, but if I'm alive, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? And
Well,
like
that's
I
just
think
respecting the difference between want and need.
right.
People overuse. I think people overuse the word need. Not many people I'm around, but in general. And it's need as a like need. I like need this chair to hold me up right now.
Yeah.
I need the air to come into my lungs right now. And that's it. We're always given, we always have what we need. That's what's amazing about it.
That's exactly my point. And so, like, and I didn't always have this mindset, you know, like I was constantly reaching, and like I realized that like that's actually not the way to do it. Like, what you do is you just sit and you whatever you have, you use that, and then like shit just comes towards you like as you need it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel at least.
Cool, man.
But that doesn't mean that we're not going to charge for our services.
No.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just one of the way I see it. I think Bedros Keuilian puts it the best way is like you need to charge because the more you charge, that's how seriously people take it, and it's on par directly with the dollar amount. So if you charge 5,000 for something, that person's going to take it more seriously than if you charge 500 for it. You know, and the quality of the product could be the same. And but it's going to be of more value to the end user because they spent more, they've had more risk involved, you know, like
that's what I'm going to tell you a secret. It actually makes it more effective.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They do their part of the work too.
Right. Yeah, man.
I learned that with attorneys actually in a different job, business. And it was, you know, I watched my boss pay an attorney like $35,000.
Damn.
And then hand him over these piles and piles of paperwork. Like the attorney was supposed to know what that shit was. And it was like, no, man, you hire the attorney to tell your story. But if you don't tell the attorney your story, you don't have a shot in fucking hell. But they'll take your money.
Yeah, of course they will. Hell yeah. You want to give me 35?
$35,000. I was like, man. And then I was like, man, you're not going to pay me at the end of the year, are you?
Right.
And he looked at me and said, he looked at me and said, are you going to come in tomorrow? All right, you got your list?
Yes, sir, I do.
Nice.
Wow, we've been live for 22 minutes already.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's Banter. It's that new app we got.
All right, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the 5 steps to bring your business online, like the first 5 things that you need to do after you decide that, hey, I should probably get started with this digital stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, we chose 5 because 5's a good number.
Well, I just wanted to throw the number out, but like maybe after this conversation, we decide that there's only 3 or that there's 8, you know, but I have a list of 11 things that if we broke them all down, there might be 15 or 20.
Well, that's the thing is like, there's really like a million things.
Yeah. But like, I would like it to be, what are the 5 things you could do tonight?
Right.
That would move you forward, or that you should do in the beginning. So.
Yeah. I mean, my 5 things are like 5 things you can do this week, like before the end of the week.
Yeah. Perfect. Maybe in one night might be a little bit, you know, pushing it, but
yeah, kind of a lot.
Let's see here.
So what's your first thing? Like, what's your primary, your biggest thing?
Well, let me go through this list.
I think that tells a lot, man. Like it shows like what, like, you know, where your priorities are and what you think is like, you know, important online and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Well, I think it definitely depends.
Comment below. Okay, before we start, if you're watching this, comment below what you think the first thing that any business should do before they get online. The absolute like first thing.
Oh, before you get online?
No, like to get online.
Get online. The first thing you do. So
then
so
what's
the
the first
example,
thing you do?
let's clarify the example is, I started my business because my neighbor needed the lawn mowed. So I mowed his lawn and he paid me to do it. And
Right.
when that neighbor saw me doing it, the other neighbors, and pretty soon I found that I had enough
Yeah.
clients to be working
So
half the week.
instead of getting business cards, like you decide that you want to do this on the internet, and so what's the first thing you do to get on the internet? Comment below what you think is the first thing to do. What's yours, man?
You want mine?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be anything that's free.
Interesting.
And then I would say I'd go right to the normal social media outlets. But really Facebook. I'd use Facebook because old people
Right.
are on Facebook and young people, they're going to say they're not on Facebook, but they still buy stuff off of Facebook.
So yours would be to like set up a Facebook business page.
Yeah, utilize your, I wouldn't necessarily even say it has to be the business page. I'd just make sure I was utilizing my social network that's online. But that's different. Like, it depends on, are you a 30-year-old that has 5,000 followers, but you've never told any of them that you mow lawns for a living? Or are you a 55-year-old that doesn't have any social media outlets? But either way, I would say you got to go on those spots and fire them up and, make some connections and tell people what you do.
Interesting. I think that's I think it's really good because most people, I don't think, especially, those that work for themselves, I don't think they post on Facebook like saying, hey, if you need these services, I happen to do this. I don't, I think a lot of people might like show like a picture of their work truck or something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't think they actually use direct marketing. Like I don't think anybody really does too much of it.
I'll say that I'm guilty of it too, that I don't do that probably enough. And I wouldn't say down the road, you certainly need a strategy, but you got to start with the people that know you first.
Right.
Like, it's not a business plan for, to be a multi-million-dollar corporation, but
Right.
the easiest way to get business is from people who call all the people that trust you and tell them, hey, I'm just
don't
wanted you
even
to know this is what I do.
tell them, hey, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Because they might know someone,
Yep.
I think that's really interesting, man.
Bug you ever again about this? I'm never going to ask you for your business. I just wanted to make sure that you know that I do.
Right. Yeah.
Hold on.
Or send them on Instagram, I realized that you can like DM, you can make a story and just DM it to your whole list. Like, dude, that's huge. Yeah, man, it's really, people, I don't know, man. I think it's a lot easier to do things, but a lot of people are scared of the one-on-one interaction. I think that holds people back.
Yeah. Well, it's that, sales. I think that guy that Tony Robbins interviews in one of his first business podcasts, I can't remember his name because I'm horrible at that, but he says it's like, look, is sales a loving and nurturing environment? No.
Should.
No. Your business, like, you set up a job, you want your workplace where your people come and work at to be a loving, nurturing environment. You want your secretaries and your administrators, you want all them to be in a good environment and have a nice culture and a loving and nurturing culture, because that'll rise us all up. But in sales, when you're out that way, that is not a loving and nurturing environment out there. It is wrought with rejection.
Right.
So there's no way around that. Like, so the more is simply a matter of, like, the more you can get rejected, the more success you're going to have. And, There's a million ways to overcome it, but it's got to be overcome if you want to have a business where you sell something.
Yeah, man. And I think, with social media, especially like just DMing someone, I think it makes it sting a little bit less, than
Yeah,
than
because
doing.
yeah. So it's got to be done, and it's not going to be super effective later if you don't start right now.
Right. Yeah, man. Okay, so my first thing was to buy a website, like buy a domain name.
Okay.
Because I figured that, like, first of all, you want to do that before anybody else does it, right? What buys the
Yeah.
domain you want? Because that is it's like it's literally a land grab, right? So once someone puts their name on it, like you have to wait till they give it up or buy it from them.
Yep.
So I always suggest that as the first thing, and mostly because a lot of these things hook back to like your domain.
Yes. And I
So
think that's a great thing to be at the top of the list. And once again, we got to always frame this correctly. We're talking about not a startup where you think this is a good idea to make money at. This is a sole proprietor who is currently supporting them and their family in this business.
So I'll be honest, this is what I do. Even if it's just something that I think is a good idea, I buy the domain just in case.
Well, but you're in a different you're in a different business, and I would agree with your strategy there as well. But we're trying to keep this to them. We're gonna help them over there. Where are they?
Yeah. So but mostly by like I said, to make sure that, because I know a lot of you guys have the same business name as the dude in the next town over. Like Joe's Plumbing. I'm sure joesplumbing.com is taken. So buy something, and I noticed a lot of people, this lady, there's someone down the street from me that sells Tupperware, and they have a sign in their yard with their website on it, right? And it's like XYZ _ Tupperware dot James Tupperware for you dot we sell Tupperware.com.
Okay, so let's review that then. I think since we're on this subject, we need a quick, like a 4-sentence lesson on how do I go. My name's Louis May. I mow lawns. How do I buy a domain name?
So
because you've bought domain.
Most people would say go to GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy. It's a good service. All websites are pretty much the same. Every domain pretty much costs the same wherever you buy it. Maybe there's a fluctuation in like 50 cents, but GoDaddy almost always has a deal going on.
Well, so let's back up though a little bit. Let's. I want to bring out the creative side of it too. Like for instance, when I came up with the name Hammersport, I did some market research.
Coming up with the name or buying the domain?
Well, I think the whole that whole process, because in order to buy the name.
This is my philosophy when I come up with a domain. The shorter, the better. Like the simpler, the better. So if you whatever you can, and I'm not saying like use letters. I'm saying like use the words that describe what your business is, and as little words as possible. So if you can do 3 words, do it, and then shoot for .com. And if you can't get that, get something like .co or .us. It really doesn't matter. And if you can't, if your name that you got in words is already bought, then try hyphens, right? So like a dash. Try that. And most of the time, so before you try the hyphens, and this is where I think people go wrong, is because they'll go directly to the hyphens. Do the .org or do the .us, because most of the time that hasn't been bought up, and it's awesome. Oftentimes pretty cheap. So because what happens is a lot of times you guys are looking for these domains, and because a lot of people have the same name, it'll be like $5,000, $10,000, $40,000.
So here's an example then. Would you approve of this? If I own a landscaping company and my name is Mike, everybody's first thought is like, oh, and you named the company as Mike's Landscaping. You could
Right.
still, your website could be icutshrubs.com.
Right. It could be I Cut Shrubs, or it could be Mike's Landscaping.us, right? Because Mike
There you go.
Landscaping already bought. So .us is, but a lot of the times, so this is the thing. Most people are scared to do that because they think somebody will confuse their domain with the other person's domain, right? So I suggest, if you're confident enough in your skills to do that, like in how much business you do versus how much that person does.
Those people aren't thinking of the opposite result, that people might confuse your business for theirs and come to
Right.
you.
Right.
And
Right.
guess what? If they have 1 million customers and you have 3 customers, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Well, here's the thing is, this is what I was just thinking of this is, get the one that you want. Like, don't let somebody else who you don't even know, like, push you around, right? And the reason is because most of the traffic that you send is going to be direct. So it's either somebody you're giving them something with your website on it, right?
Yep.
And it's written right there, or it's a direct link that you're sending someone that they can click on, like, or it's in Google and it's like a direct link. So very few times do you actually have to search in Google for something. You know what I mean? And like for the actual website. Like,
yeah, and that's just when a person is left to searching on their own accord to find you, they're probably not even going to find you.
right, and they're probably not your customer. Like, your
Yeah.
customer can call you, or like if they already know you. We're talking about people who already have a business. Like,
Yes.
like your first website traffic is going to be people who walk into your store and see your website written on the wall.
Yep.
Yep.
So
yeah, that's my thing. Buy a domain, and there's a couple of things under that, but that was the main thing.
Yeah. And then, so let me add on that another thing, and this is great. Directly
my step 2 was to do your thing too.
Okay. So another thing everybody should do is buy your name. If you can still buy your name as a website, you better do it, because you're not going to be able to for long.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So most likely, most common names you will not be able to buy. Mike Schmidt, John Schmidt, Bob Schmidt, Robert Schmidt, Joe Schmidt. They're all gone.
Yeah. But if
throw
you have a unique,
throw a middle initial in there, though.
Right. Or do a .us. Do your country.
Yep.
Because in the future, like, I really look at this stuff as like, this is how you're going to be identified in the future. Like, this is your new mailbox.
Well, I call it your online resume.
Yeah, that's a good
Your
one.
online resume is like, I once, when we were doing some fundraising for the Hammer Sport Racing, we raised got a bunch of food together and brought it to the Panhandle after that bad hurricane. And we tried pulling up at a Costco place, a Costco store, and raising, asking for donations outside there. We eventually got kicked out. And one lady came up to me and she had her camera out and she's like, "I'm filming you." And I'm like, I'm all over the internet. My name's Lewis May. If you Google my name, you can see that I'm a license holder in this, and that I sell health insurance, and I do this, and I'm doing this. And that made me realize, it's like, I have an upper hand because I did that a while ago. Like, you want to know I'm legitimate? All you got to do is go online, and you're going to see I'm not lying to anybody. I'm not cheating anybody, because I'm everywhere on purpose. And like, that's my resume. It's like, if I was a scam artist, I wouldn't be able to have the licenses that I have, and I wouldn't be able to just be open on the internet. Now I also had to make up the decision that if you want to find my address, you can probably find it too. But that's part of the game. That's the nature of the beast. Is I had made the decision, I'm a public person and I sell stuff to the general public. So I've just got to be on the up and up. And if you want to find me, you can.
Yeah, man. That's exactly how I think of it too. It's like I'm putting my stuff out there for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let's go to, since your thing was free social media, we can't go through a whole list of how to do that right now, but I think we touched on it a little bit. It's not about having perfect social media sites or
No,
having
so
unlimited content. It's
yeah,
about, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, my step 3 talks about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta find it. I just closed it. Okay, here it is. So yeah, so what I say is join Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Join those 3, and then whatever platform you think is also relevant to your audience.
Yep.
And but Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are the top 3 as far as attention on the internet.
Yep.
And so what I say is document portions of your workday and post them on all the social media platforms. So don't try to make content, like don't try to make stuff. Just
no, and that's
just keep the camera
when we take a newbie in our business right now, when we take a newbie in business who wants to grow and they're the right candidate, that's the first lesson in content is just show people what you do. But that's it.
Right.
Because then they can watch that, and if you do that 50 times, you're going to all of a sudden start to create a personality that draws people in. Like, because we all have that.
Yeah, and it's too easy to do it. Like, first of all, it's free to post these things. It used to, cost a lot of money to get people to see your stuff, even if you're, on a local cable channel or whatever. But it's free to post this, so there's really no reason not to. And then, you can find things like this setup that your buddy has, where you can literally just set up cameras in your restaurant and you could do a live reality show if you wanted to.
You just go over to your computer every once in a while and press the button and be like, we're live.
Yeah. And you don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be that fancy. Just taking your phone out, whatever, when you're taking the garbage out, or, just doing.
And it's not going to go away either. The first time we found a live camera, I lived in New Orleans in 2001, and there was 2 live cameras on Bourbon Street, and you could go on them and dance around in front of them, and then find yourself on the computer later on because it was time stamped.
Yep.
And we were just like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people on the internet that just like to watch, but especially for, they talk about how long it takes for a customer to warm up to you or how many times they have to see you. This is one of the ways that you can just completely eliminate that. By and this is why I say, don't make anything special. Just do your regular thing. And this is what I think video works so good, because you don't have to be special. You just start the video, put some text on it to describe what you're doing afterwards. And that's it.
And the beauty of it is, in 99% of the services and products out there, if you do this and you have 50 videos up of you digging a hole, literally digging a trench.
Say, hey, I need a hole dug.
Well, you're going to be you're in the top 99 percentile by doing that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, you make yourself the top 10% by just saying, "Hey, I'm here doing this," because most people especially most people that dig holes with the type of shovel that you have, to the depth that you do it, and the type of material that you dig, there's only so many people in the world that are doing that, and there's only so many people in the world that are posting that on social media saying, "Hey, this is what I do," and I guarantee you, it's probably 5. For hole diggers.
So here's the difficulty in me doing this, Riley, with this. I kind of messed mine up when I wrote my list, because we're doing what are the digital things that you can do. And that's part of my big game plan, is working with people to integrate the non-digital marketing things with the digital marketing things so that we use them all together, you know?
Well,
So
then, yeah,
my list includes non-digital. My list includes some strategy things too that aren't like active advertising things that you do, you know? So I don't know if we want to talk about any of those right now, or if we want to stay strictly digital for this list.
Yeah, I think staying strictly digital
Okay.
is good for this, because I think I had labeled it like to
Okay.
get online, or when you're getting online.
Yep. Okay. So let me
But we can
find
definitely
my.
do that.
So we've got your number one as buy a domain name. Your number two is Facebook, Insta, and YouTube. Just starting an account if you already have them. Number three would then be documenting your work. For me, with video. For me, I had more free social media right at the top. And then number two for me was actively letting your followers know what you do.
Right. That's a good one. Yeah.
Like if you have 500, if you're in a small town of 10,000 people and you have 200 followers that are friends, but they're Facebook friends, you know, and you're 55 years old, they might not know what you do. They probably do, but you know, are you willing to take that risk that they don't, and that you're missing out on some easy business?
That's a good one. What number was that for you? Number
That's
three?
just number two.
Number two?
Yeah. And now, like I have on here, I have videos of your business showing specific values you bring. That's a little more in depth. That would be like, don't try this at home sort of video. So I like your video, which is just make a video of what you do.
Yeah, I think that's you know, it's funny because I was watching Sam Ovens talk to this chick who was making some courses last night on YouTube, and she was saying that one of her first problems when she like started teaching her first course is that like she was teaching like at an expert level. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
No, it literally needs
right
to
there,
be.
that's like a level 3 thing.
Yeah. No, that's what you guys should hire us to do.
Right.
To help you produce a video that brings to light your specific values to a mass population. Like we build that video and advertise it to 10,000 people or 100,000 people. All you guys need to do is make a video on a tripod, shooting from this direction of you working over here. And that's it. Like one video, and then you got it.
Yeah, you can get with those tripods on Amazon Essentials now for like $7.
Yeah. Or don't even do that. Just make your own. Duct tape a phone to a stick in the ground and, you know, press the button, take the duct tape off when you're done.
It's a good idea. Or you can have one of your employees just follow you around.
Yeah,
like, what was the dude's name? D-Rock? You can have your own D-Rock.
Hey, man. That's, you know, that's rich people stuff right there.
Well, I guarantee you there's one employee at your workplace that's not doing something. So
that you should probably get them to do this instead of
that dude who you always have to tell him to stop leaning on the counter, you know, or to get out of the back room. Put a camera in his hand and have him follow you all day. So what was that? Your number 3?
Yeah, my 3 would have been videos.
What's your number 4?
I'm trying to find my number 4 right now.
All right. Well, you tell yours. I'll give you mine. Where is it? No, my number 4 is, I guess it's kind of along the lines of what you said before, but notify your current customers of your new social names. Ask them to follow you and to share your pages with their friends. This is where I'm saying, like, post this in your store. If you have a Facebook Messenger bot with ManyChat, you can post that link to have people automatically subscribe if they scan it on their phone. And then you can just direct message them whatever you want.
Man, I'm a plumber, dude. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So, you know, you can get anyways, there's a way to have people automatically subscribe to your list that you can message them whenever you want. Send them a message on Facebook. There's a way that you can have them automatically subscribe to it if they take a picture of it with their phone, and you can post that in your workplace wherever you want. So a lot of people are posting it on those like little cards, and they're saying like, hey, this is like for a restaurant, this is like a way to sign up for like a free appetizer or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways you can go with it, but essentially once that person scans it, you can message them whenever you want.
So let me change your number 4 a little bit, because once again, I didn't think about I didn't do my homework right on this project.
But hold on, so because I went kind of too far off. Mostly my number 4 is take all of your social things, your social links, your social names, post them everywhere. Tell all of your customers this is our new online presence, and ask them to go follow you, and then share your online presence with their friends. Yeah.
Okay, and that's good, but I think you jumped a step then because of that. So, whereas, so maybe your step number 2 was really, okay, I'm Bob Smith. I've got Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I'm not that cool yet. I have a job, and I own my job. I'm a self-employed worker. I want to grow my business. Now it's time to start the business page.
Right. Oh,
so
yeah, I didn't see. Yeah, start a business.
Can be another step above. First is just be on social media. Second is on social media as a person, and then be on social media as a business as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can do this both ways. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people make like personal profiles for their business or whatever, or you can just, but yeah, definitely make a business page. If you already bought a domain, make a business page.
Yeah. And then ask your personal friends, family, and then customers to be aware that you have a new social media platform specifically designed for your business.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Thanks for taking the off.
I'm going to put this as my number 4.
Yeah, you should write this in a book and sell it. So you have a number 4?
No.
Okay,
no.
so that was a number 4 for both of us.
Yeah.
It was like yeah, you completed what I was saying. So, what's number 5? Do you have a number 5?
Let me just think outside the box for a second without staring at the list that I already had built for something else. I would think, because I'm going off the list of.
All right, so let's run it through from top to bottom.
I mean, I know what my 5 is now.
So we bought a domain.
Name.
Signed up for social profiles.
Yep.
We posted. We told people that we're on these social profiles, and then we posted content of what we do at work on those social profiles.
Well, we told people in a text what we do on a post on our social profiles, and we made some videos of showing what we do and posted those videos on our profiles.
Right. So for me, the next thing I say to do is, these profiles or, these platforms, they give you a way to analyze how well these posts are doing. And the number 1 way to analyze it is through likes. So the most amount of likes it has, the better it's doing usually. Like add into the engagement equation. The engagement equation is what determines how well your ad is like to the public. So how well people are taking it, how much they like it. That's the higher the engagement, the more people like it, right? Yeah. So they say. So the more comments and the more likes, the more engagement. So typically what you should do is then take this post and throw some money behind it. And whatever you have, like however many posts you have, your top 5, your top 10, like whatever you want to do, take those, the ones that have the highest engagement, select a target audience, you know, whether it's around your store or if you're online, like, you know, the niche customer you decided, and throw some money behind that post that you already made, and to start to this new target audience, because it's going to show that people already had an interest in it. So when you show this as an ad, it's going to be way more relevant. People are already going to see that somebody already clicked on it. They already liked it. They're already interested in it. So they're going to be more likely and willing to do it themselves. And if you're a local business, it's going to drive more traffic to your store or restaurant.
So boost the post, except don't do it by actually pressing the boost button that Facebook asks.
So here's
you
the thing: they got them better now. Especially like if you're on Instagram, you can do something like this. You can still, you know, I tell people not to, but if you're a local business, you can afford to.
Yep.
But if you're like if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to like sell e-commerce, don't boost posts.
That's a different, but we're not talking about that yet, because that's applying to, and we're talking about people who are doing it.
Exactly. So if you're a local business, you can afford to do something like this because your metrics are a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Meaning, what he means is you actually have a chance of, you are going to get results, because you're only going to advertise that you mow lawns in the town that you live in, because that's the only place you do it. And you're talking to a limited market, and that market is willing to share to new businesses.
It's like running a TV commercial or a radio ad to to an audience that, like, you know, is right there. You know what I mean? And but the thing is this is where people are actually paying attention. So it's just more cost effective for you to do it here, which is why I'm saying, like, your metrics are different than someone like who's running a virtual business.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if, like, first of all, you can start doing this weekend, and I can guarantee you, if you do it this weekend, you'll have results within 14 days. I can guarantee you. People will say, hey, I saw you on Instagram. Hey, I saw you on YouTube. I saw you on Facebook. Like, hey, I keep seeing you everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, people will start saying that. and they'll literally come into your place because you told them you're there. It's that simple.
Yep.
And this is the main thing, the main reason I'm telling you this. It's, especially if you're running video, it's extremely cheap to get people to see your stuff. Like $3 to get 1,000 people to see your stuff. You know what I mean? It's very cheap. Compare that to TV.
3 cents per person.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. And you can afford to do it. So take whatever you're spending currently on marketing and literally just start pumping it into Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I guarantee you, you'll have
brick and mortar. If you're a brick and mortar product business in a local area, or you're a service business in a local city,
you will kill it. And the main reason you'll kill it, this is the main reason, because your competition is not doing it at the level that you're doing it at. So
here's the way to prove. Let's prove that to them, Riley. Whatever industry you're in, go on Facebook and generalize, say, landscapers. Just click landscapers. You're going to find every landscaper in your local community that is on Facebook is going to pop up.
I do this all the time. I do this all the time
too. Yep. So why don't you go and show people how to do this right now? Because this is the proof. This is going to show, if we can get one person to go do this, then that's one more person who's feeding their family a little better and can hire somebody that helps the economy, you know?
All right, so we'll do landscaping. And so we'll click on pages, right? And this is all we need to do.
Looks like you got some landscaping companies in your town.
Yeah. So for those of you that are just listening, we just brought up a list of local landscaping companies on Facebook.
And how do we know they're local?
mostly because Facebook just auto loads the closest pages. So they think those are the ones that are most relevant to you.
Yeah. And literally whatever town you're in, if you take your computer from home in Seattle and then go to New York City and open your laptop and do this search on Facebook in New York City, you're going to get landscapers in New York City.
Yeah. So I just typed in landscaping, but if you want it to be like extremely relevant towards you, just type in landscaping services near me or landscaping near me, whatever near me.
Yep.
And it'll bring up
there. So go to the biggest one, the one with the 41K likes or the 90
yeah, point. All right, 9.2.
Yep. Big company. You'd think.
This isn't a local one.
Okay.
Here we go. So this one has 1,000 people. It's located in a town near me. And so what I'm going to do is...
And I mean, if you have 1,000 followers as a landscape company...
You're pretty freaking big, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what do you have, 10,000 clients then? You know?
Yeah, they that's really big.
They might have 10,000 clients, literally.
They're hiring too. So,
yep.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm looking at their page right now. There's if you're on desktop, on the bottom left-hand corner, there's a button called Info and Ads. If you're on your phone, there's a button like on the cover photo that has like an eye on it. Click that button, and what it's going to do is it's going to show you if that company is running any ads, like any ads. If they're running on Facebook, it's going to show you every single one of them, and I guarantee you.
Who would have guessed, Riley?
9 out of 10 of these companies are not running any ads. 9 out of 10 of your competition is not running any ads.
I would say 49 out of 50.
Yeah. So 9.99999. Like, there are some, and more are coming online every day. There are more people doing this every day, which is why I'm telling you to start doing this now, because you can afford to. Do it. Like, as soon as you start spending money, people are going to start seeing you. Local people are going to start seeing you. It's like posting the biggest sign on Main Street. It's literally like doing that. Like you bought every single billboard in town. It's like doing that. Like, imagine if every time there was a commercial, one of your videos showed. Like back when people actually watched commercials. And like, imagine the 80s. Every time there was a commercial, it was one of your videos. Like, just think of that. That's literally what this is like, because you can get it.
That's Facebook
on your potential customers page. You can get it, so your content loads every time they open like Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube.
So where's that spot on here, Riley? On Facebook mobile?
Right there on that I button. There's an I button right like on that line split, just above their profile, like just above the button.
Okay.
Just above the
yep, right. So it's this little teeny button, right? Yeah. It's right in. It's right there, right above the thumb button.
Really small.
Yep. So you press that button and you get that same information.
Yeah, man. So
guess what, Riley? I found another landscaping service that doesn't have any ads running.
Right. Yeah. I can almost guarantee that nobody's running it. Nobody's running it.
And how much would it cost me to do this?
You can get started literally with $2 a day.
So maybe spend $20, take one profit from one job, 1 hour a week, and spend it on this and see what happens.
You'll get results with $20 a day. And that's why I say do it within 14 days. You'll get results with $20 a day. But think about this. If you're a legitimate company, you can afford to test something. You can afford to spend $1,000 to test something. Do me a favor. Spend $1,000 in 2 weeks. Spend $1,000 in 2 weeks on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube ads, and tell me you don't get results. I'll make the bet with you. I'll make you a bet that you get results. And if you don't feel confident that you can do it, I guarantee you that I can do it for you. Yeah. So,
yep.
And mostly the main reason to do it is because nobody else is doing it. Like, nobody is. And I can do it at such a high level that I can guarantee results.
Thanks for joining us today. My name is Louis May, co-host of Marketing 101 podcast. And you just listened to myself and the other co-host, Riley Seaburg, for Marketing 101 podcast from us at Hammer Sport Marketing. So if you enjoyed any part of this show, if you found some value in this, please leave us some comments in the comment section. Share this with a friend or family member who's also a business person or entrepreneur, and give us a rating, hopefully a good one if you like the show. Otherwise, give us a comment on what you'd like us to change. Thanks again. Have a great day. With your eyes closed, tighten up your blindfold, even when it's day.